Today, MSI gets attacked, DLSS 2 and FSR 2 get compared, Nvidia's next GPU's performance is in, and Nvidia's RTX 5000 series is set to be bigger and even more expensive. Welcome everyone to Gamer Meld. First up for today, if you own an MSI, well, anything, be very careful about where you get your updates. At least that's what MSI officially stated in their new press release concerning an attack on their systems. According to the announcement, MSI recently suffered a cyber attack on part of its information systems. According to them, they promptly activated defense mechanisms and recovery measures, as well as reported the incident to law enforcement agencies. They've since resumed normal operations, but they're urging users to only get updates from their official website. Unfortunately, while this makes it sound fairly mild, according to a new report, this was an attack by the ransomware group Money Message, where they claim to have stolen 1.5 terabytes of data from MSI systems, including CTMS and ERP databases, private keys, source codes, and more. They're threatening to publish the documents if they aren't paid a whopping $4 million. Time will tell what happens from here, but it definitely doesn't look good for MSI. Next up for today, a very interesting video was recently published by Hardware Unboxed, where they compare AMD and Nvidia's upscaling tech in a whopping 26 games. But first, there's a great deal at the place I recommend for anyone hoping to learn computer science. I'm of course talking about this video's sponsor, Brilliant. And basically you get to try out the incredible learning platform for 30 days absolutely free when you visit brilliant.org/gamermeld. Now, if you haven't heard about Brilliant yet, they're the place that was built to teach the STEM field, so you know you can trust what they teach you. The best part is that they teach you in such a unique way that makes learning some of the most difficult topics easy. Simply put, they get you to do it yourself through interactive and even fun puzzles. So you're not just listening to boring lectures or memorizing endless formulas. You get in there and do it. And they even have a ton of courses, from learning about memory to quantum computing and even artificial intelligence. So don't wait and visit brilliant.org/gamermeld to get your free trial. Plus, when you visit that link, you'll get 20% off the annual premium. Now back to the story. More specifically, they compare image quality between Nvidia's DLSS 2 tech and AMD's FSR 2. So they aren't looking at performance or anything like that. This is purely looking at the quality of the resulting image between the two technologies. And in the video, while they don't go through each game to show what they're seeing because the video would be too long, they do at least go through a few of the games. Then towards the end, they give a summary using a chart that rates the image quality. And as you can see, if it says DLSS Plus, it means DLSS did slightly better, DLSS++, it did moderately better, and +++ it did significantly better. Then FSR+ is slightly better, etc. And as you can see in the final result, DLSS took the win pretty much across the board, with FSR simply tying in a few scenarios. Now, obviously this can be fairly subjective, so you can take it however you'd like, but I do think it's interesting to see. With that said, don't forget that FSR not only supports older GPUs, but also older Nvidia GPUs, so there are definitely some big benefits on AMD's side. But when it comes to pure quality, it does look like DLSS is better, at least according to Hardware Unboxed's analysis. Next up, we have a huge update on Nvidia's next GPU, their RTX 4070. In a new report from Video Cards, they leaked a ton of official slides from the company that goes over quite a few things. For starters, we have this, which confirms the pricing and release date. Then you can see they claim 1440p at 100 FPS plus with ray tracing and DLSS 3, but that obviously doesn't give us much. Luckily, they have a couple slides for that. Starting things off, we can see here that they show a number of games compared to the 3070 Ti and 2070 Super, and they show performance with frame generation and without. With frame generation or DLSS 3, it shows a pretty big boost compared to the other GPUs. Of course, that's to be expected. Without frame generation on, we see a much smaller boost. We're talking around 20 to 35% faster versus the 3070 Ti. And this brings me to the final slide, which really shows us exactly how fast the 4070 is. As you can see, when compared to the RTX 3080 without frame generation, the RTX 4070 gets the same performance. It's tough to see here, but with DLSS 3, the 4070 gets 1.4 times the performance. Basically, the 4070 looks to be a 3080 with frame generation support, which I have to say is a bit disappointing. I mean, sure, it's $100 cheaper than the 3080, but it's also been nearly 3 years since that came out. Plus, early retailers are already putting some wild prices out there for early adopters. And lastly for today, we already have some new leaks on Nvidia's next generation of GPUs. Remember, just a few videos back, I discussed a few things from Red Gaming Tech regarding Nvidia's next-gen GPUs codenamed Blackwell. I'm talking performance targets, new memory, PCI Express Gen 5, and more. Well, today we now have some new insights from a new video by known leaker Moore's Law is Dead. For starters, he confirmed that Nvidia is likely going with a monolithic die, just like what we heard from Red Gaming Tech. So that is extremely likely, though both claim there's a slight chance Nvidia could change their mind. But even as far back as mid last year, leaker Kopite7Kimi claimed that Blackwell looks to be another monolithic chip. Remember that AMD has officially gone to a chiplet design with their RX 7000 cards. And of course, chiplets have a huge benefit of cutting costs because the bigger a chip gets, the lower the yield rates become. But there is a downside of slower communication across chiplets, and Nvidia is apparently not wanting to deal with that for their next-gen cards, likely called the RTX 5000 series. And according to this new video, he's being told that Blackwell has a very large and expensive top-end GPU. That's right, it sounds like Nvidia's next-gen is set to get even more expensive.
It's not true. That's impossible!
And this could partially have to do with the process that it's built on. If you remember, in Red Gaming Tech's video, he claimed that Blackwell would be built on a custom 3nm process from TSMC. But according to Kopite7Kimi, that may not be the case. As you can see, he claims it won't be 3nm. Now maybe it's that custom part that makes it different, but given Kopite7Kimi sounds like it's a bad thing, it may simply be an older process, meaning Nvidia's high-end GPU, likely the RTX 5090, could be not only expensive, but massive. At the end of the day, while we saw some big performance from the recent leak out of Red Gaming Tech, the price could be massive as well. So while that does it for today, how expensive do you think Nvidia's next generation of GPUs will be? Let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to try out Brilliant for free at brilliant.org/gamermelt. Hey!